Brebeuf de Montréal and at Parkex Juvenile.
Welcome back, Montreal, Quebec, Camp Estival de Excellence. We got a big time game right here. We got Vanier Cheetahs, a force to be reckoned with in the CJEP League. Lots of talent on the floor as they're taking on Team Excellence, also with firepower. Part of that firepower is 2019 PG, Ben Datro. Expect some big things from him. Joined with his St. Laurent Express teammate, Trayvon Minot, big fella. Matched up against Harris Elizovic, 6'9", 6'10", taking on about 6'7". Joined with me is Wood Wendy Seraphin. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself? Thanks for having me.
No problem, no problem. It's my partner right here for this game. We got one more CJEP game against Excellence coming right after this. On the attack, Vanier to the rim, no good. Coach Seraphin, tell me a little bit about these teams from what you've seen. I know you've seen some of these guys throughout the course of the year.
Correct. Well, for the Excellence kid, the guard play is going to be pretty solid. We have a lot of young kids that are getting better every year, each month. And we saw them going through the summer. And we're pretty excited about the kids we have here this week.
And I know you coach at Brave Buff as well as at Park X. That's two solid programs right there who've been known to produce a lot of talent. What can you say about what's coming up in the woodworks from these programs?
Well, we have big expectations for the AA team in Brebeuf. I'm expecting a solid season. A lot of guys returning, good incoming freshmen. And as far as Parkex, I mean, we have studs coming, man. We have guys that we expect to play at nice prep school or D1 in the States pretty soon. So those are the objectives for the next months.
And in the meantime, we have Benji all over the floor. He's got a high-level motor. Saw him at the St. Laurent Express tournament. He's one of those guys that kind of a little bit slept on. Was a walk-on, I learned. Look at him, he's all over the floor, diving for loose balls, right on cue.
Totally, it's a kid that I love. It's like his energy, his motor is like it's out of this world. It's insane.
And what I think I noticed is that it's contagious throughout the rest of the team. When he plays hard, the rest of the teams play hard. He's that heartbeat for that squad. So, he's got some tools. He's 6'4", he's got some length. As he continues to develop his skill set, we'll see where he can take it.
Take a few of these guys on my team anytime.
Coach Andy Herzog is always in the gym recruiting. He's always got talent on that floor. Here's Ben Datro on the attack. Out of control there, gets his own rebound, kicks it on out.
It's a call from Brebeuf. It's one of the juvie kids that is coming up. He's looking to play D1 next year. Pretty solid kid, pretty athletic, good shooter, amazing student. That's what it counts.
There was Daho on the finish for Vanier. 4-0 early on. Here's Steve Joseph, crafty point guard, pulls up in the mid-range, no good. And it will be rebound Team Excellence. Here's Ben Datro. St. Laurent connection right there, Datro and Minot.
Trayvon's probably still growing, 6'8". His wingspan is huge. Big kid.
Got lots of length, no question. I mean, he could end up getting a 7 foot.
We sure hope so, but yeah, totally. He's been growing like nonstop. I've seen him like a few times this summer, and he's been growing nonstop.
I'm giving you some breaking news that I gave on the last broadcast. St. Laurent Express, we're excited that they'll be joining the National Preparatory Association.
Serious, amazing.
Yeah, so this first ever Montreal group in the National League. So it's going to give a taste for the city as well as the province to see what's up in the national level.
Totally. I mean, we need that exposure, right? I think we're talking about a lot about Ontario right now, and those kids need some recognition as well. Totally. So can't hurt us, right?
I mean, the biggest star in the league currently is AJ Lawson, class of 2019. RJ Barrett and Andrew Nemar just reclassified to 2018, which means that AJ Lawson's the new #1 player in the country for 2019. And what happens is you have a guy like Ben Datro and Trevon who are now able to match up to see where they stack up. If he's number one, where are they at?
Right.
And then obviously they got a guy like Lawson's got the target on his back as well, so he's got to always come out hard. Here's Kulamala. Oh, excuse me, that's Corey Wine there. They got a lot of talent on this Vanier team, huh?
Yeah, they recruited really well. It's going to be a team to look out for this year for sure.
Lots of size on the wings, length. They got good point guard play.
Exactly, and they're missing a few guys too. It's not even the full squad.
They're missing their big fella.
Correct, from Gatineau, right?
P.O. Racine.
Yo, correct.
One kid I've been very impressed with that I'm learning more about is Jamil Phillips for Team Excellence. Out of, I believe he's out of John 23rd.
Correct. Jamil's another kid with a high motor. He's starting to play on the wing. The skills are developing, and he's a kid that has this potential. The ceiling is amazing. It's incredible. Can't wait to see where he's going to be in a year or two.
About 6'6". About 6'6", 6'5". He's long. He's a good athlete. Seems like a good kid. I spoke to him, and he's working on his game, working on his jump shot.
Correct. I had the chance to coach him for a week at a fair camp this summer. He's a gym rat, right? He works really hard. He's always in the gym, and like I said, I can't wait to see him in a year or two and see where he's at as far as wing development.
Here's Yves on the bounce pass. Excellence with it. They're battling. Of course, who's on the floor?
It's one of the Sire brothers as well, the new twins that are coming in Brebeuf, Juvie. Yeah. And two studs as well that transfer actually to Brebeuf. We're expecting a lot of big things from these guys this year as well.
Here's Yves. Gulamala picks it up, tries to bounce it. Turnover Vanier. Yves Nazan Shinshuti, hopefully I said that right. He's had a really good day today. Smaller, compact point guard, but he's a playmaker. He does really well in the pick and roll game, and I'm looking forward to see what he does here. Just got subbed out, but we got a couple new bodies on the floor. (12-5, 16 and change left here in the first half. Vanier up 12-5. A lot of silly mistakes here. One thing I was talking about as I watched the last game for the girls, it's a much more organized game. Typically, girls, rely on their skill set and their IQ. The guys rely on their athleticism.
Absolutely. Well, to their defense, the excellent squad have been put together this week, right? So I do expect a few mistakes, a few turnovers. But you're right. Girls seems to be easier to coach and to apply basics, right?
And there was Benji on that last finish. Nice finger roll. Expect a big year out of him, man. He's. I can't speak. I always look out for the under. Oh, nice pass there. I always look out for the underdogs, and Benji's a guy that he'll creep up on you. He's got something that you can't teach, and that's heart. That's what I look for.
He's an Andy type player, right? Totally is the type of player they're looking for. He's going to fit perfectly with what they're doing there.
They got to find the big fella. He's working down low against Benji. They got to be able to give him a touch.
Oh.
Here he is, the same guy. Here we go. Thought about dunking it, but ends up playing it conservative. 2 points is 2 points.
Correct. As a coach, but I wanted 2 points.
Exactly. And on the defensive end, his assignment is 4 inches taller, at least 4 inches. And
he's holding his own. Not a turnover.
you know, I really want to see some mature guard play here from Team Excellence. They gotta find the big. They have to find the big. He's working down low. Let's see if they. All right. Gets it in the elbow. Attacks. Okay. Nice move there by the big fella. And that's what bigs need. They need to get touches to get confidence. If they're not engaged in the game, they're usually checking out on both sides of the floor.
Absolutely. You need to reward them for running hard. You need to reward them for fighting and rebounding the ball. And yeah, they need touches. And starting a game, I personally will force the ball inside and make sure my bigs get involved as early as possible.
That's what happened with Team Ontario when they beat Quebec. They were playing poorly leading into that semifinal game, and then, you know, they fed it the big Jaden Bediako, and then Quebec couldn't stop him. He's you know, Trevon Minot reminds me of him actually because he's got that length, that size.
Correct.
Now it's that confidence. But and I love the kid. He's a really nice kid, and defensively he's like an anchor as well.
He needs that confidence. He needs to play guys his size as well, right? I feel that the league is not as big as other leagues or competition he played this summer, and I think it showed a little bit during the summer. So hopefully we'll get to put him into more competitive games like tonight, and to be able to hone his skills and get better.
Well, don't you worry, we'll have some big boys to match up against in the NPA, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", every game he plays. So, you know, that'll be certainly beneficial to his development.
Absolutely.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Tarek Spate joined with Wood Wendy Seraphin, coach at Bray Buff, as well as Park X. Lots of history at both Park X and Page. I was there today, you know, seeing all the alumni that have come through, all the names we hear, NCAA, NBA, you know, and just big time CIS players. You know, lots of talents come out of Quebec, man, and I think more is only going to keep coming.
It is coming. More is coming. If you have these excellent guys, that class is pretty deep, pretty solid. We're expecting a lot of big things from that class as well. Oh, nice pass.
Oh man, that's what you see at this Vanier squad. They have so much size, but all the guys know how to pass the ball. Even, especially big fella, the big fella, number 21 for them, Harris Elizovic.
Right.
You know, he's a guy with an extremely high IQ. Here's Bendacho kicking it out. You can just see, you know, the talent level isn't too major in disparity, but the difference, I think, is experience and a little bit of muscle as well.
That's it. Physically, that year difference is huge, right? You see the guys have been working out in the gyms already. They're you see the difference. You see the difference totally.
Tough shot there.
Rough shot. Another kid from Brebeuf.
Oh, okay. Okay, Harris.
Man.
I mean, he spun and he was open. I didn't think he had to reverse pivot, but it looked nice. Here's Steve Joseph. Nice bounce pass there. Cutter, Harris. He's got to finish that. Here comes Bendacho.
Steve's a floor general. I love this kid. Decision making is amazing. Good move, that ball.
You know, I'm a fan of Ben. You know, 2019 PG. He could be one of the best in the country. But what I talked to him about consistency. You know, when he's high, he's real high. When he's low, you know, we like to get that even keel, bring it every time, because he's at his best when he's elevating his teammates and making them better.
Absolutely. And he needs to pick his spots better, maybe. I talked to him as well, right? And it's a matter of having a speed or two more, right? I showed him a lot of crisp ball, and it's a matter of being able to understand that you need more speed. You can't always be at full speed, and at that level, guys got to match up, right? So you won't be the best athlete on the floor all the time.
And he'll continue to learn that as he continues to play the position. You know, obviously you got Coach Akram Sleman and the whole Saint Laurent Express team and culture. You know, they're gonna put him in position to keep growing and developing.
No question. They're running a great program out there.
Here's Steve Joseph, tries to go back door, does, and is pushed.
Again, the big man with a beautiful pass.
You know, Steve Joseph is a kid with a lot of, you know, nasty to him. He's a he's a pit bull out there.
You can't teach that. He has grit. He's always working, and I mean, coaches love this type of kids.
I remember watching him. You know, he was just bodying guys for fun. I mean, the guys weren't in his way, but he purposely like went into them and shouldered them. You know,
He's not shy out of contact.
But you need that as a smaller guard. You need that chip on your shoulder.
Absolutely.
Tough shot.
It's long, man.
So long, you know. He gets possessions by accident sometimes. You know, but once he takes it to another level with his muscle mass and his body control, understanding how to attack the rim and attack bodies and absorbing contact. Oh my
He still has no idea how good he can be, and it's going to come.
Still a baby giraffe right now.
Absolutely.
But you know what though? He's a great kid. He loves the game. He really loves the game, and he loves to compete. Yeah.
He's coachable. He listens, and you can't ask for more at that level. It's as long as you want to work, and you're open to critiques and to get better. Sky's the limit for this kid as well.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break here. Under 9 minutes to go. 29-13. Vanier in control. We'll be back.
Shoulder injuries are annoying and frustrating, especially when you're trying to stay fit and active. Visiting your local rehab center may not always be the right answer. The exercises prescribed there are outdated, the movements that they provide aren't functional, and you don't use them on a day-to-day basis. Please take a look at this video, and let's see if we can figure out which ones you're supposed to do and the ones you're supposed to stay away from. Enjoy.
Camp Estival de Excellence, quarter century running, lots of history, lots of talent. Here's Daho attacking. He's a nice player too, man. There's, you know, this team, Vanier team, they got zero scrubs. You know, everyone can ball, everyone can hoop from 1 to 12.
Absolutely, Coach Andy's gonna have a lot of tough decisions to make in terms of playing time. It's a deep team, a lot of similar guys. Can't wait to see how they're gonna figure out the playing time and the rotation this year.
But you know what? It makes it tough for the players on the team, but also makes them better because they gotta compete for every minute. They gotta make most of every minute on the floor.
Absolutely, you can't slack off. I mean, there's always somebody looking for your spot, looking to play to get your minutes. So I can't hurt them for sure.
And that's the same thing at the D1 level. You know, everyone can ball, so it just makes them that much better.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes our league better. It's pretty good.
Nice backdoor cut right there for Vanier.
Vanier looks to be into it. They're in mid-season form already. They're looking good. They're wearing their sets. They're poised.
Absolutely. They had a nice experience at the Saint Laurent Express tournament a couple months ago. That was some of their new basketball with their new recruits.
Exactly. Finals against Team Quebec, right?
out of control. His team excellence down big to a well-oiled machine in Vanier, 35-16, 7 minutes to go.
Totally see the difference in experience. Vanier came ready to play. They're teaching these younger kids a lesson right now.
And this Vanier squad, I can't stress enough how much depth they have at every position. You know, you have Patrick Steves that can play the one and typically does. Then you have Nugala, who comes in that can play the one or the two. They can both score, so they're interchangeable.
As we can see, they defend as well.
Yes.
And it's a team that made the final last year, right? The national, the provincial level. And they don't seem to have missed a beat, even though there's a few guys that departed.
This might be the favorite going in, but you can't count out Bray Buff. You can't count out Dawson. There's a lot of talent, man.
You can't count out Bray Buff. I've seen Edouard this summer. You can't count him out as well. The league's going to be pretty interesting this year. I can't wait for it to get started. And he's in great form as well, as usual.
He's sweating on the sidelines there, putting in work. There's Naginu on the attack, all the way to the rim. Nice finish. Big man finish right there for the little guy. There's Frederick Daho. You know, he's a guy that you could always kind of count on for at least 10 points a game, and he does it in a lot of different ways. He does it with efficiency as well.
Okay, you don't need to run a lot of sets for him, right?
Nope.
Just off of our hard work, he can get his buckets.
Nice shot right there by Philip. You know, he's a guy we talked about. But here's an opportunity for these guys to step up and show us what they got. You know, at the end of the day, they're just playing basketball, so someone's got to step up.
Right now, I want to see them get rid of the Cheetahs, and I want to see them just show some heart.
Compete, exactly.
At this point, it's just compete. Correct.
Competing is half the battle. I mean, you're not going to control the shots that you make or miss every time, but you can control how hard you play defense. You know, how hard you're attacking the rim.
I'm a little bit intimidated right now, and you can feel it on the court.
That's good defense right there. That's what we're talking about. That just creates energy.
Absolutely. It's
for the team.
contagious.
Yeah. Oh, that's a backbreaker right there. Kulamala, he's a nice looking prospect, man. 6'6", could really shoot it.
Correct, a lot of potential. It's a guy that I can tell we were interested in as well, having at Brebeuf. We missed out on him. He's going to give us a lot of problems this year in Vanier.
Manuel Bandumel, Brebeuf as well. He's a top 10 player in the country in North Post national rankings. Got connected with him earlier yesterday, and let me know about his recruitment. SMU, Coach Jay Duncan out there is recruiting him hard. Oregon, Coach Mike Maniga, who's basically made a living in Canada. And then he's got Baylor. He's got a lot of high major program, Oklahoma. A guy that you need to look out for is Emmanuel Bandumel. Of course, has it in the genes too.
Has it in the genes. That's a kid I know personally. Amazing kid, coachable, with the right attitude. He has his eyes on the prize. You know what he wants, and I hope him the best for what's coming. But yeah, an amazing kid. A lot of good kids at Brebeuf this year. Kids, we don't talk much or enough about a kid like William Boyer.
That's right, shooter.
Correct. It's going to run the point for us a lot this year. Lefty got hurt last year, so we didn't get to see him much. An amazing talent. Guillaume Pépin as well is going to make a lot of noise this year. Expecting a lot of big things from this kid. I mean, I'm biased, right? I'm from Brebeuf, but I'm excited to see what this team's going to do this year.
Coach Mike Shimluski does an excellent job. I've been following him very closely, even from the days of Nemanja Zarkovic and Joseph Chartuni. That's the kind of his first kind of guys that he really got through, if I'm not mistaken, to the D1 level, and he just hasn't stopped.
Absolutely. We had Patrick Steves before.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Correct. But yeah, and personally, as a coach myself, I learned a lot from Mike, and I'm looking forward to get to share the gyms with him this year and learn from him as well.
You have Nemanja Zarkovic, of course, Patrick Steves, that was at Harvard. You can't forget about Joseph Chartouni. You know, one thing that people don't understand, 8-10 Rookie of the Year, that's no joke on his resume. You know, that's a big-time resume builder.
It's a big-time resume, and we're hearing good stuff already about Nathan that left for Richmond this year. Should be in the rotation. We have Oli Kadir that's going into his second year in Fairfield. I mean, there's results, right? You can't go against results. What Mike is doing is working somehow.
Well, number one, the academics are in check. It's a private school, Brébeuf, so you know that's okay. Then the skill development is in check. Guys are getting better year in, year out. Joseph Chartouni is not a kid that was a super athlete or a super size guy, length guy, but he had toughness, he had an IQ, and he had a skill set. So you can't deny what's being done over there at Brébeuf. The skill development is excellent. The coaching, even the X's and O's, and game speaks.
Absolutely. Game speaks. I think he had the tools. He became a complete player on the mic. He put it all together. He's a floor general right now. He's one of my favorite players to watch as well. Another kid that I know personally, and he comes back every summer and work out with the kids. And we're proud of what Joseph is doing right now for them.
Also on the Lebanese national team.
Absolutely. I haven't had the chance to see a game yet, but correct. Joseph's making us proud everywhere he goes and represent the Brébeuf brand pretty well.
Absolutely. 44-23, less than a minute to go here. Daho, open shot, he'll take it, he makes it. This kid shoots, from the last 5 games I've watched him play, the kid shoots at least 60%. I don't see him miss too often.
I'm pretty impressed. I didn't realize he was that good of a shooter, honestly. Form perfect, elevates pretty high on his jump shot. A kid to look out for this year.
Nice finish there. We want to see more of that.
That's Paul from Brébeuf as well. Another kid that we talked about him earlier as well. Another kid that we expect a lot of things for. Oh, huge block by Carl. Like you can see, he can defend. One of the kids that we expect more pride and more leadership from this year.
Heat check right there.
Too late, but yeah, they finally showed some heart.
That's Corey Wine. Gives the last shot for insurance. 49-25. We're going to take a quick break, but we're going to be back for another half of Refresh Basketball. Stay tuned.
I'm going to count the front of your hip and the back of your hip as one, but I'm going to start with the back first. So this is a great tip for those of you who are runners, who are looking to improve your glute strength. The only way to really get at that muscle, which is called the piriformis, is to get that crossing of the foot, which is a figure 4 position, and then tipping your weight over, and it allows that muscle to pop right underneath, and that's how you're able to really attack it with the foam roll.
So is it better to foam roll before workout or after?
That's a good question, and the answer to that is both. You want to be able to foam roll pre-workout just to wake the muscles up, and it's a great cool down after a good strenuous workout too. The hips I'm going to consider as one unit. We just worked the back end of it, now we're going to work the front. And as you can see from all these beautiful colors here, there's more than one muscle that makes up the muscles of the hip. So we can't say that we're specifically working one. So that's why it's really important that you get the front of the hip and also the side so you don't lose out on any of those muscles. So let's start with the side first. So we're really just concentrating on all the lateral muscles of the hip that are being foam rolled at this time. So you can play around with the angle of those muscles by falling back or falling forward. So a famous muscle that needs to be foam rolled a lot would be the psoas muscle. So in order to get that muscle, you need to be lying right on top of the foam roll. And here is a trick that I know I like to for my athletes is using the edge of the foam roll, you'll be able to add more pressure. So I want you to roll on this hip, but I want you to get this hip right at the edge of the foam roll. So on your stomach. There we go. And you're right on top of it. Get that knee flexed. So you can use it as a pivot point for here and here. She has complete control over that front part of the hip. Now if we wanted her to get all the way down to the knee, she can still stay in that same position. And she could get some of the quad muscles all the way down to the green part of the knee if she rolled all the way down the thigh. Spot number 4, very general, very broad, is the entire back. In order to get that, she's going to sit on the tube from basically head to the top of the bum, we're gonna foam roll the entire area. And this is also a great exercise for something that she didn't think that she was gonna really be working right now, and that would be her core muscles. We just did a workout, so she's probably a little sore in that area. And then come all the way up. Good. And then back up. These big structures here, which are called your lats, we really want to be able to foam roll that area. It's an area that if you are not in a good training facility, it's a muscle that's not used very widely. For all the calisthenics athletes out there, this is a muscle that you really want to have strong, loose. So you really want to be able to treat it on your own when you can't get into the therapist. So the best way for us to do that is just to lie on your side and have the tube right underneath your armpit. So if she was to lift her hand off the ground, you can see what happens now that all the pressure is right in that back spot. And she can roll back a little bit more, and she'll be able to get a little bit more of the muscle belly. Okay? Pretty intense, huh?
The guy beside you wants exactly what you want. What are you going to do about it? Take this personal. You guys have fight left in you? Then let's go. Keep fighting. Believe yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
And we're back. We got 25 fresh minutes on the clock. Score is 0-0. Refresh stat sheet. And we still got Wood Wendy Seraphin on the call with yours truly, Tarek Spade of North Pole Hoops. And of course, we got Andy Herzog featuring as a feature.
As usual, Eddie, I mean, he won the first half by about 30 points and still going after his guys. I mean, that's why they get better. That's why they get better during the year. And we expect to see them later during the year, during the playoffs.
Next up, we're going to get a chance to see Bray Buff take the floor against the Team Excellence. I'm really excited to see these guys because Emmanuel Bandamel, Boyer, Richard, right?
Guillaume Pépin.
Yeah, I want to see these guys. I saw them, the last time I saw them was when we did our event, North Pole Hoops New England Showdown. They went up to New England to play Vermont and whatnot. It's because they didn't play Vermont, but they played the other teams there. And, Emmanuel Bandamel was playing the one because Boyer was out.
Correct.
He was injured, so it was interesting to see him play. He can play the 1, 2, and the 3.
Exactly. I think he's a natural too. I think Will's going to help a lot this year. We have Seb Lamotte from Du Rocher as well, a kid that not a lot of people know about. He's an amazing athlete, floor general. I'm excited to see what he's going to do for us this year. Loïc Savard from Quebec, huge 6'8", 6'9" kid with a huge wingspan that Mike was able to recruit to come here, and we were going to be pretty solid, definitely.
I know. Andy ain't the only one recruiting. Mike's working. They're all working. All the coaches are working.
And it's good to see. It's good for our league. It's good for our sport. And I've heard and I've read a lot that the best coaches copy what they see around them, and that's what I'm trying to do and copy from these great coaches.
I think that's a little bit understated in terms of the coaching that we have in Quebec and in the country. I'm a big believer that Canada, we don't lack anything. We are the option right now, and I think this ideology that we have to send our kids to the States, let's kill that noise. You know what I mean? We're world champions. So for everyone that's listening to this, I think it's time to understand that we have the infrastructure now. The National Preparatory Association, which we started last year, it is in existence for this reason. For kids to be able to say, we get the high-level competition, high-level exposure, high-level skill development. What more do you want? You got everything, and then not to mention the marketing that we're going to be able to do for these kids. So I mean, at this point, for kids to leave Canada, they're running away from exposure right now. I really firmly believe that.
Absolutely, there's no more reason to go after better competition in the States. It's right around the corner now. It's back home. Absolutely. I mean, and Andy's complaining about the score already. It's I love it.
And the other thing is that, and no disrespect to the programs in the States, because they're smart. They've been recruiting Canada. I would do the same thing. But let's not forget, all these top programs over the last decade have built their programs in some cases on Canadian talent. whether it's Finlay Prep, St. Benedict's,
Absolutely.
you know, now Vermont, you know, Brewster, you know, all these programs, Montverde, you know, Huntington Prep.
No, you're entirely right, and like you
And
said,
all credit to them, you know what I mean?
Totally. But we have the tools now to help the kids fulfill themselves here in Canada, in Quebec, Ontario, and we need to make sure they understand that and they take advantage of what those great coaches put in place.
You know, we've been talking, at North Pole Hoops for the last 10 years now, we've been talking about all the great talent in the country, and we got to start talking more about the coaches, because that's the next step, is that, you know, all these guys do it most of the time it's on volunteer basis. So they're giving their soul to the game.
Don't get me started on salary here in Canada. But yes,
It'll change, though. It's changing.
It is slowly changing. Yeah. It's slowly getting there. But of course, I'm a coach that wants to get to the higher levels. I want to be able to live of my passion, and hopefully we'll be able to get there, and I won't have to leave and go somewhere else, right?
And you know, the thing about it is that it's slowly, gradually transforming into a business. In the States, it's a multi-million, billion-dollar business, and that was able to open up opportunities for aspiring coaches, and among other roles. Over here, it's starting to happen, but the more that we can understand that, you know, this is a business, but it's also about integrity, doing it the right way. You know, being able to provide something of value and then put a dollar on it. There's nothing wrong with that. In Canada, we have this conservative mentality that, you know, we're not allowed to make money in basketball.
And we need the people in charge to realize, like you said, what it can bring. It's a tool for the kids to go further in life, scholarships, school-wise, academics, etc. We want our kids to be able to use that skill, that talent that they have, to fulfill themselves later on in life, and yes, you have to not be afraid to put money into what we're doing. Look at hockey. You know, parents are pouring millions and millions of dollars into hockey. Basketball is much cheaper to play, and by the way, we're producing NBA players, so we can see it now. I personally started playing ball because hockey got too expensive for my mom, so I totally understand what you're saying.
Back to the action, 10-1, Vanier up, Niginu Nugala with it. Harris Elizovic, he's had a solid game today. In a lot of ways, I feel that Harris Elizovic is somewhat of an X factor for this Vanier squad, because he does so much. He scores down low. Look at that. Put the English on that.
I mean, he's going to force Andy's hands to be on the floor. I mean, they won't be able to sit him down. He's going to be on the floor a lot this year, and like I said, he does the little things that don't show up on the score sheet, but that helps win.
He's added muscle. He's always been a good passer. He can shoot the three at 6'7", 6'8". You know, he's interesting, man. Nice pass. Oh! Thank you. Finally a throwdown. You know, hopefully that gives them some energy.
Exactly. Hopefully they wake up.
But if you look at the length and the wingspan as he extended fully,
barely left the floor on that.
Beautiful stroke right there.
I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I haven't seen him much in the past few weeks, but I'm really impressed with what he's done with his game this summer. You're going to be a tough out.
Look, Steele moves it up.
Never give up on the play.
Okay, with Wendy. I'm a scout, right?
Go ahead.
I'm a national scout at North Pole Hoops. I see a lot of talent all over the country. When people always ask me, what do you look for in talent? I tell them, first thing I look in the eyes. The eyes never lie. Now people are like, what the hell are you talking about? You look at the eyes. When you see a kid, if you look at Harris right now, he's locked in. You know, he's focused. You see a kid that wants to be great. You see RJ Barrett. You see Jamal Murray. The eyes don't lie. You see that kid's chasing greatness. And then you see kids that, you know, they're immature still, they're still growing up. And you see a deer in the headlights. They see a mentally they're a baby still. Yeah. Like you say, a baby giraffe in some cases. But the eyes never lie. And right now, Harris Elizovic is absolutely locked in. I love what I'm seeing. And it's 14-3 Vanier right now. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back.
Let's go. Hey, hard work. Let's go. Hey, hard work on 2. 1, 2, hard work.
Get yours today, exclusively at the CNIT.
Here goes the lob. Quick shot. And will they count it? Will they count it? Lawson! Oh my lord!
But AJ's gonna look to possibly end it, and he does!
AJ Lawson once again, Captain Clutch, comes in the mix, gets it done.
Just goes step back, game.
3 seconds left. 2, 1. AJ Lawson! Go! He gets it to go! AJ!
Good job, Kareem.
"17 minutes to go here. Would Wendy Seraphin on the call with yours truly, Tarek Spate of North Pole Hoops. Really excited about what's going on in Quebec, and obviously we're going to be doing a lot more in Quebec. From the NPA, mentioned St. Laurent Express has come in. The official announcement's coming very soon. So that's huge. I think once people in Quebec really understand what the NPA is and get a taste with St. Laurent being there, it's going to be a trickle-down effect. And then outside of that, we're just excited that, Mehdi Stambouli, JFLR were able to bring us out here to see this amazing event and see all this talent. Being able to evaluate these guys, these young guys against the CJIP guys, that's meaningful competition right there.
Absolutely, and personally I want to say it's about time we have you guys here in Quebec. You guys check out what we do here. Really excited, really proud of what we have as far as the pool of talent here in Quebec.
It wasn't easy coming in. It wasn't easy. First, we had to open up the door slowly, and it was closed at sometimes. But then I think when people saw that we're always coming back and really investing into the game and getting to know the people, that's when they knew. I think they knew we're serious about it.
Absolutely, and I think we do have some trust issues, right? As a province, I think we need to trust more. We need to let our kids play everywhere, learn, and I have the feeling everybody wants to do a little bit on themselves. Everybody's working on their program. Is it what's more benefit for Basketball Quebec? Maybe it isn't, right? So having you guys here opening up the doors for these kids is amazing.
No, I mean, absolutely, our pleasure. At the end of the day, it's not just a Quebec thing. It's a human being thing. Like across the country, people sometimes will be skeptical or they won't trust, because how often are people reaching their hand out and saying we want to help? And that's what truly all we want to do at North Pole is to help people, help kids. And sometimes when people hear that, they're like, wait a minute, what's the angle? There's no angle, and it's we work with a lot of great people in Montreal. We see how much passion they have for the game, how much love, how much talent there is, and that's what we're excited about the most, is that literally it's just scratching the surface, literally.
And I think we don't mention enough. We don't mention enough the passion that we have for this game here. The gyms are full. The kids are always working out. I'm here at ParkX, I think 3-4 times a week, and the gym's always full. Same thing at Brebeuf. We couldn't close the gyms this summer. Kids wanted to play, and I think it's important to mention the work that's being done right now.
Amazing. And I see it, like the different people in the community putting in that work, and the fruits of that labor is coming. It's coming strong. Nice cut there. The outlet. Daho, that's one of the things that he does really nice, is understand. He's an opportunist. Yeah, he sees that there's an opening, runs full steam.
Leak out, absolutely.
And he takes advantage.
It's a skill. It's a skill. The kids don't understand that. It's a skill to have.
And he's not cherry picking either.
No,
he's moving at the right time.
Correct.
He's got at least. He's in double digits for sure.
Yeah, totally.
And all on, like you said, they didn't have to really run anything for him.
Exactly. He's playing off instincts right now with hard work. Like I said, it doesn't show on the stat sheets most of the time, but he's doing the little things that coaches love. And that's why he's on the floor, right? He's probably an Andy favorite already.
Here's Kulamala, nice bounce pass. Daho again with the leak. We just talked about it. It's back-to-back buckets and the same idea.
So I have a feeling that these young kids are rushing right now. They're not. You see the difference in poise and experience, right? They're rushing every move they're making. Yeah, they're turning the ball over, and you see the difference with the patience that the guys at Vanier have.
Vanier looks good though.
They look terrific. They look terrific. Mike's not gonna like that. They're looking terrific right now.
I wish we could just see Vanier and Brebeuf right now.
Seriously.
Here's Jamil Phillip has checked in. Really want to see him do something here. You know, he's got a lot of talent, got a lot of ability. Behind the back he goes, kicks it out.
He's still pretty raw, but like I said, he's slowly transitioning to the wing. Nice shot. And can't wait to see what's going to be in a few years. Leaking again, beautiful.
Eve, point guard there that had knocked down the triple. He's had a really good day. Nice bounce pass there in transition. A bump, no foul, no call. About 7 prospects I've seen in this Excellence team that, you know, have some nice potential, and you see some ability, but you haven't seen anyone really break out yet. But still early in the week.
It's still early in the week. We did see a few good things. I'm a little disappointed with the effort and the teamwork right now. But like I said, it's early in the week, and hopefully, wow, big shot.
Has he missed yet?
No, he hasn't. It's amazing. But hopefully these kids will get it together and have a better week. But I'm not concerned. It's full of talent, and they'll get there. I mean, that's what we want, right? We want them to see the level they're looking to play at, and the work they need to put in to get at that level, right?
Good hustle there by Daho. Berkovic out in transition. They lose it. Again, bodies flying all over the floor. You know, I thought that was an off pass there, but it was an unselfish option right there. They're always looking to find the extra pass.
Absolutely, and he was on the floor going for that loose ball. It should have been Phillips. And it's things that he's going to learn as a young man to go after this young ball. Andy's going after him, and he's teaching every moment for Andy's teaching experience.
These guys are gonna be good, man. They just call it that. The thing that I love the most about their team, outside of the unselfishness and the chemistry and all that, is they got every position on lock. Like it was constructed strategically.
There's no weakness on the team. They can play any style. They'll be able to play in the half court or run. They'll be able to defend or.
They're missing like 3 top players.
Exactly, right.
That's the crazy part.
It's pretty scary.
You know, with Racine, P.O. Racine. You know, that's a guy, that's a true big. Not many guys have.
That kid is a tree. He's huge. And as a first-year player, yeah, exactly. As a first-year player, it's pretty scary to see what he's going to be in a year or two. Still confident Brebeuf got this, though. I have to.
What's that?
I'm still confident Brebeuf got this,
gotta
though.
Gotta be confident.
Correct.
I mean, we're about to see them next. You know, they got some guys as well. You know, and there's some guys that they for sure have that I've never seen before. So we'll see what happens.
All right, there's Nathan little brother as well, Sam Cayo, that's on the team.
Okay.
Can have a lot more playing time this year. We're expecting a lot of things from him.
Yeah.
He's a little smaller than his brother, 6'3", 6'4" guard. And can't wait for you guys to see him as well.
Excellent. It's been a long day. It's only day 1, but it's been a long day. I feel like I've been here for a week already. I had to take power naps in between to keep that motor going.
And it's pretty hot in the gym too, right? Make sure the kids hydrate themselves properly, and like you said, those power naps are going to be crucial by the end of the week.
Man, but let me tell you, after the week is over, you know, that's how you build toughness. Like, you're going against the elements. You know, like it's a sauna in here.
It is. I mean, you can't reproduce those training.
But I'm not even playing. We're not even playing.
We're sweating right now. Correct.
Oh my gosh.
Good move.
That's one thing about, like, you know, in Quebec, it's interesting. Like, the kids, you know, just generally speaking, they got some sort of hunger in them sometimes, because, like, they don't really have much. You know, they don't ask for much. They just play ball. You know what I mean? They're not like prima donnas, but some cases they are in terms of what we want to see them compete every possession.
Absolutely. I totally understand what you're saying. I hope we won't lose that grit, that that side of Quebec kids.
That's what you
work
guys are
hard.
known for, man.
Absolutely, and kids like Lugans that are making noise right now, and that's what makes difference. It makes a difference. And what differentiates us from the states or other cities right now.
You guys are kind of like a Chicago, you know, toughness, grit. British Columbia's like a Los Angeles. Ontario's like a New York.
I've read recently that I said here Canada we're bringing more players than
Great pass though. That's a nice pass, right? Nice read there by
and
Steve.
He was high enough that touched the back rim. That was amazing pass. But yeah, I read that we're producing more players than New York and those big cities, right? And I mean that's nothing to be ashamed of.
It's something to really take a note of, to say again that mentality, like, guys, we're not little brother to America no more. You know what I mean? We can't think about it like that. We got to understand that we're second to nobody, and we got to operate that way. We can't say that, oh, we're going to send the kids to the States. What? Is our coaching not good enough? Is our infrastructure not good enough? I don't believe that.
There's no reason for that anymore, and I mean, we see it. I can't wait for the next Quebec draftee from in the NBA, because we see it. We saw it with Jamal Murray.
I think Lugans
is online. I mean, we don't
Chris
want to...
Boucher just signed.
Correct. Chris Boucher. I was at his draft party, actually.
Okay.
Chris Boucher signed a double-way contract with the Warriors. And
it's a good fit for him.
Absolutely. And hopefully Lugans and Quincy are the next ones.
That's right. But there's other guys, coming. You look at the Ben Datros of the world. You look at the Trayvon Minot. They're far away, but they've got work to do. But they got that sort of upside. I look at those two guys as, in my opinion, high major prospects, for sure. And you're going to be able to see how they match up against the A.J. Lawson, how they match up against Sammy Hunter out of British Columbia, Shaheem Malcolm out of New Brunswick. Here we go again, another lob. And that's truly what it's about, which is special about the league, the NPA, is that it's about alignment. You have all these provinces under one umbrella, under one roof, under one infrastructure, and it's all conducive. They're following the same standards. It's all conducive to elite performance.
I mean, I'm changing role right now, but do you think we can see that in Quebec? Do you think it's the next step here to have like that type of organization that can put a roof under those over those programs and make sure everybody, all our best talents play together? Basically, that's what we're looking for.
I absolutely think. I mean, selfishly, I'll say that I would love to have more programs in the NPA, and I think it will happen once they see what we do with Saint Laurent and all that. And so I think it's. But also the CJEP League is strong too. I think we're missing an element of exposure that we're trying to work on. But at the end of the day, we know there's talent. Right now, it's about working together as a community, together, not against each other, and finding solutions to the problems instead of just talking about the problems over and over and over again for 20 years. So and it's not just Quebec. I gotta say, as we travel all across the country for the last 6 years, same problems all over Canada. Egos, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
instead of thinking about the problems and then discussing the solutions, we don't get to that point because it's about ego and it's about territory and it's about, hey, if we succeed as a province, if we succeed as a country, everyone eats. Everyone can eat. There's enough room for everyone to eat. Because the more we succeed, the more players come, the more parents are paying money for basketball, and it's circulation across the country.
We have to be proud of every kid that makes noise, and it only helps what's going on with the province right now.
That's right. It's an inclusive mentality, a collective mentality that we have to have, and that's what we're trying to really preach out there, and not even preach, but just work with people. All right. That's the third time he tried dunking. Someone came in his way.
Yeah, they finally, they have a hard time running back in defense and transition. And those Vanier kids are pretty smart at leaking at the right moment, at defending the play correctly. As soon as the ball is secure, they're gone.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in on the live broadcast with Wendy Serafin, with Tarek Bate of North Pole Hoops. We're going to have live broadcast action on northpolehoops.com all week. Be sure to click on the subscribe button on YouTube And follow us for the latest in Canadian basketball at North Pole Hoops on social media. On the attack, Yves. Stifling defense here from Vanier.
Yeah, we haven't talked yet about the coach of Excellence, Kedar Hippolyte. That's a former Team Quebec player, amazing player back in his own days. Coaches at Momo right now and is doing a pretty good job with our kids this summer at the camp.
He's a very positive role model for these kids. Really good energy and really cares about these guys and his brother as well. I saw him as well. These really good people in the gym.
Absolutely.
They're doing it for the right reason.
As a coach and as a person that gets involved, I think we need to mention these guys more often, right? The work they're doing is amazing, and like we mentioned earlier, they're not doing it for money.
That's right. We talked about all the weapons offensively that Vanier has, but defensively they're beasts as well.
Well, that's the difference in the game right now. They're scoring in transition because they're stopping the ball, or they're switching everything. They're playing really well defensively right now. Again, they look to be into mid-season form already. It's scary how good this team's going to be in a few weeks.
And again, for Excellence, they're playing with better energy overall, but still haven't had anyone really break out or really be the factor.
Correct. We'll see this week who's gonna take the lead, gonna distance himself in the class, and put himself down as the best player.
We earlier today we asked who's the best player, and they're all sitting down. Who's the best player in the gym right now? We asked the guys. One guy put his hand up. It was Ben Datro, and he probably is. He hasn't been playing like it, but he probably is. But the fact that, and he only put it up like halfway, like it wasn't a confident one.
Right.
So the question becomes, what are you afraid of? Why aren't you stepping up and saying, even if you don't believe, even if you're not, but you gotta believe it.
And it's a mentality that we don't have enough here. I mean, I feel I'm the best coach in the gym right now, and I think it's the way to see it, it's the way to go after it.
Yeah.
And we need to teach that to our kids a little more.
As long as the work associated with being the best player in the gym is being put in, then you want to see, I want to be the best.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to hear.
Absolutely.
We can't settle for mediocrity, as people.
You can't, and you see it all over. I mean, the best players in the world are claiming that they are. LeBron won't hesitate to say he's the best player in the world. I was reading Giannis yesterday or the day before, said he was going to be MVP of the league because he believes it. I love it.
They believe in their work.
Correct. You know how much work they're putting in. I feel if you're not able to say right now you're the best player in the camp, you might not be putting in the work that you have to, right? So we're going to challenge them for that this week as well, for sure.
Absolutely. Finished there by Team Excellence. Jamil Phillips on the finish. Naginu, nice bounce pass right there. Phillips in transition. Good kick out.
Phillips might have the highest ceiling on that team in terms of potential.
I can see that.
See him moving. It's a kid that I'd love to have under my hand and work with. Just as far as skill development, I'd be interested to see what I can do with this kid as a player in a few weeks, in a few months. But all the tools are there to be a...
Jean 23rd?
Correct, exactly. And Isabelle, I'm not saying that Isabelle's doing a great job with these kids. I'm just jealous right now. She's doing a great job with these kids over there.
Isabelle. She's awesome. She's another great coach in the community. You can always, every time I'm out here in Quebec, I see her in the gym. Every single time.
Exactly. Right? You can't deny the work she puts in.
Yeah. So it's a really cool community here that I noticed. It's everybody knows everybody.
Absolutely.
They've been doing it for years.
Exactly. It's a small community. We need to trust the experience and the skill level that we have here as far as coaches and program, and keep pushing, basically.
That'll be it for Game 2. We got one more coming up. Your Brebeuf squad. I'm looking forward to seeing them featuring Emmanuel Bandumel and the crew. Another contender for the CJAP Championships this year. And that will be all. 30 to something. It was a blowout. Vanier came and flexed their muscle. And We will close it out, but stick with us. We'll be back in 10 minutes.